In the annals of 21st century politics, few figures have left as profound a mark as Angela Merkel. As Germany's first female chancellor and the European Union's de facto leader for nearly 2 decades, she navigated crises, reshaped alliances, and embodied a style of leadership rooted in pragmatism, resilience, and quiet determination. Born Angela Dorothea Kasner on July 17, 1954 in Hamburg, West Germany, her journey from a scientist in communist East Germany to the most powerful woman in global politics is a testament to adaptability, intellectual rigor, and an unwavering commitment to democratic values. Merkel's early life was shaped by the Cold War divide. Her father, a Lutheran pastor, moved the family to Templin, East Germany, when she was a toddler. Growing up under a repressive regime, she learned early the value of discretion and self-reliance. Despite the limitations of life in the GDR, she excelled academically, particularly in mathematics and chemistry. At the University of Leipzig, she earned a degree in physics, later completing a doctorate in quantum chemistry at the Zentralinstitut für Physik in Berlin. Her scientific training instilled a methodical approach to problem-solving, a trait that would define her political career. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked a turning point. At 35, Merkel joined the fledgling political movement Demokratische Demokratiebewegung, eventually becoming deputy spokesperson. Her ability to articulate complex ideas with clarity and restraint caught the attention of senior politicians. In 1990, after German reunification, she was elected to the Bundestag and appointed Minister for Women in Helmut Kohl's cabinet. This role, though modest, allowed her to build networks and hone her political instincts. By the mid-1990s, Merkel was seen as a rising star in the Christian Democratic CDU. However, a party funding scandal in 1999, linked to Kohl's tenure, prompted her to publish a landmark article in Die Welt calling for a clean break from the past. This bold move positioned her as a reformist, and in 2000, she became the chairwoman, the first woman to lead a major German party. Her ascension was not without challenges. Male-dominated political circles often dismissed her, yet she persisted with characteristic patience, focusing on policy over personality. In 2005, Merkel became Germany's first female chancellor, leading a grand coalition with the Social Democratic SPD. Her early years were marked by cautious reforms, balancing budgets, modernizing labor laws, and strengthening Europe's economic framework. Critics labeled her style too technical, but supporters praised her stability amidst global uncertainty. The 2008 financial crisis tested her leadership. She championed austerity measures across the EU, arguing fiscal discipline was essential for long-term growth. While unpopular in some quarters, her approach helped Germany weather the storm better than many peers. The 2010s brought more complex challenges. The Eurozone crisis of 2001 required delicate negotiations with Greece, Italy, and Spain. Merkel insisted on structural reforms in exchange for bailouts, earning her the nickname Iron Lady of Europe. Her pragmatic, often uncompromising stance drew criticism, particularly from Southern European nations, but also solidified Germany's role as the EU's anchor. Meanwhile, domestic policies like the energy transition aimed to shift Germany away from nuclear power and fossil fuels, reflecting her long-term vision for sustainability. A defining moment came in 2015 with the European migrantess. Facing a surge of refugees fleeing war in Syria and elsewhere, Merkel declared, "We can do it, Reshaped," opening Germany's borders to over 1 million people. This humanitarian gesture earned global praise but sparked domestic backlash, fueling the rise of the far-right AfD party. Despite political costs, she defended her decision as a moral imperative, citing Germany's history of persecution and its obligation to uphold human rights. Throughout her tenure, Merkel navigated shifting global alliances. She maintained a working relationship with U.S. President Barack Obama but faced tensions with Donald Trump over trade, NATO funding, and climate policy. Her partnership with French President in 20,170,2021 aimed to reinvigorate EU integration, particularly on digital regulation and defense cooperation. On Russia, she pursued a policy of dialogue and deterrence, balancing economic ties with firm opposition to Kremlin aggression, notably after the 2014 annexation of Crimea. On the domestic front, Merkel oversaw significant social reforms. She legalized same-sex marriage in 2017 after years of resistance, signaling a shift toward progressive values. Her government also strengthened workers' rights, expanded childcare, and invested in digital infrastructure. Yet challenges remained: income inequality, regional disparities, and the integration of migrants continue to strain social cohesion. Her leadership style, low-key, data-driven, and consensus-oriented, contrasted sharply with the bombastic populism rising in other parts of the world. She avoided grand gestures, preferring behind-the-scenes negotiations and incremental progress. This approach earned her respect, but also criticism for perceived indecision. Yet in moments of crisis, whether the Fukushima nuclear disaster in 2011 or the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, she demonstrated decisive action, prioritizing public health and economic stability. Personal life remained private. She married physicist Joachim Sauer in 1998. The couple maintained a discreet, work-focused lifestyle. Merkel has no children, often citing her demanding career as the reason. Her hobbies, cooking, hiking, and opera, reflected a desire for balance amidst relentless political pressure. In 2021, after 16 years as chancellor, Merkel stepped down, handing power to Splitter Olive schools. Her legacy is multifaceted. Europe's stabilizer. She held the EU together through multiple crises, ensuring its survival as a political and economic bloc. Economic architect. Germany became Europe's strongest economy under her watch, with low unemployment and robust exports. Global diplomat. She mediated between Washington, Moscow, and Beijing, maintaining Germany's role as a bridge between powers. Social reformer. Despite conservative roots, she advanced LGBTQ+ rights and environmental policies, symbol of resilience. As a woman from East Germany who rose to global prominence, she embodied the possibilities of post-Cold War Europe. Today, Angela Merkel remains a reference point in global politics. Her tenure reminds us that leadership isn't about charisma or soundbites, it's about persistence, integrity, and the courage to make unpopular decisions when they serve the greater good. From a scientist in a divided nation to the chancellor of a united Europe, her story is one of quiet force, proving that sometimes the most transformative change comes not from loud declarations, but from steady, principled action.